Hey everybody, welcome back to our channel. We're so glad you guys are with us today. When you're on the road and you make plans, sometimes those plans go up in smoke. I'm Tim.
And I'm Gayle.
And you are chasing the Joneses. And we literally have taken the highways and byways to tell people
that life is short, eternity is long, sin is deadly, hell is certain, and Jesus can be yours.
Yeah, so there we were minding our own business when the check trailer brake wiring light came on. And we were right by the campground we were driving to, so we were able to get in there and park.
Yeah, and it's funny because then we go, hashtag favor. So that was a weekend though. We checked in on some online forums to see if anybody else had that problem, and people they had some weird ideas on what to do. One said to take all the tires off and check the brake pads. One guy even suggested cutting the wires to each of the brakes to find the short. Some seriously crazy stuff. Okay, so our fifth wheel is a 2021 Arctic Wool 3660 Suite, and it came equipped with an ESCO brand breakaway switch. Their care information states, when testing the switch, disconnect trailer cord from the tow vehicle, pull the lanyard pin out of the switch. This will take about 20 pounds of pulling force. You should hear the brakes engage. Double check by moving the tow vehicle forward, making sure the brakes are locked and operating properly. When testing is complete, reinsert the pin so it is flush with the switch body and the trailer brakes release. Reconnect the trailer cord to the tow vehicle. So we did that.
Let's just take time for a moment to ask you, if you have not been on our channel before, go ahead and subscribe and like this comment, even like it and then comment on our page. But stay tuned for the end of our video, because we have 5 takeaways of our experience and one bonus.
Yeah.
A small puff of smoke came out, and I thought it was just dust. And in fact, I even blew on it a little bit because I just thought it was dust. And when I blew on it, I watched more smoke appear, and I watched a line going from the bottom of the nose cap all the way down, melting. It was like Mission Impossible, right?
Yeah.
And it was crazy. I opened up the storage compartment, and suddenly smoke was billowing out. It was crazy. And the compartment is right below our bedroom, and we really thought it was on fire.
Yeah.
It was crazy because all we could think about was the trailer going up in flames. I mean, our house going up in flames, if you will. And not to mention, there was $1 million rig right next to us. And so that was just even causing more craziness. Then the flood of favor began. Gayle called the fire department, and there was one family that was outside. They were preparing to leave, and this family is David, and he has a production called the Deaf Proof Productions. He's a fellow YouTuber, and more importantly, he was a certified mechanic and had his tools right there and was ready to go.
Yeah, he ensured that the damage stopped. Ironically, David has his own Greenbrier, Arkansas story of the breakdown there. Yeah. If you haven't seen our story, actually, you know, it was almost a year prior that happened. Yes. But if you haven't seen that, just at the end, we'll post that link so you can go and see what happened the last time.
Yeah, absolutely. Once the smoke cleared, we saw the damage to the wiring, and what literally was melted from the hitch pin, the emergency brake pin on the hitch on the fifth wheel, and it went all the way along and down into our batteries and through into the underbelly of our RV. So the St. Peters, Missouri Fire Department arrived quickly, and we're talking to the captain about that. He was like, you know, I just brought everybody out because last night because nobody knew what this RV park was. It was new, nobody knew it. He said, just in case we ever have a call there, we need to know where that is. And just so happened that morning he was still on shift, and we called 911, and they immediately got there.
Yeah. So we were due to head to the Ozarks, you know, the mountains, 2 days later. but we had no trailer brakes. So we started calling local RV repair shops and even some mobile RV mechanics, but no one could get us in for at least a month, which is about normal. So we contacted our warranty provider, and they gave us a list of certified Forest River repair sites. The closest one was Camping World.
Right.
Now, we had never actually gotten work done at Camping World, but we've probably all heard horror stories about their service. But what can we do?
Right.
That's the only ones that can get us in, right? So we call, and it turns out they said, yeah, we can get you in 3 days. So this is awesome. But the next issue was, where were we going to park until they could get us in? Because we had 2 days. So we were at a place called 370 Lakeside Park in St. Peter's, and this place is full all year round. So we go into the office and we let them know our situation. We're just hoping it'd be great if we could get a pull-through site, but beggars can't be choosers. Guess what site had just opened? The one exactly in front of where we were parked right then.
Right.
So we didn't even have to worry about brakes. All we had to do was just sort of coast forward and coast to a stop. We only had to move a few feet forward. And then a few days later, our trip to Camping World in Wentzville, Missouri, it turned out to be really easy. It was 12 miles up the road, and traffic, if you know I-70, traffic was really, really light that day. There was plenty of room once we got there to pull in, and we didn't have to keep hitting the brakes of our truck, right? So that was huge.
Yeah, the service manager there at Camping World, Scott, he explained the whole process to us when we pulled in. And they would do an inspection immediately. They would contact the warranty people and for approval of all the things they need to do. But then we would have to wait for the parts to get in.
Yeah.
And they could not predict or guarantee how long it would take for the parts to get in. And so we thought maybe a couple weeks or something like that. That meant we would be without our home for an extended period of time, and we had places to be. So what would we do?
Remember Grace?
It just so happened that we had yet to sell our old RV, Grace. And it was parked at a church in Birch Run, Michigan. After dropping off Waymaker, our fifth wheel, we headed to Michigan to pick up Grace. Was it an inconvenience? Of course. But we would not be homeless. And our Waymaker was being repaired.
Yeah. In the end, we were without the Waymaker for almost 3 months. By that time, we were in Texas for a camp hosting assignment.
However, Camping World kept us informed of everything they were doing, even went to bat for us with the warranty people as they tried to deny our claim. The delay was not their fault at all because they were literally waiting on first the warranty people to say yes to fix it, but also then they had to order the parts and wait for the parts to get shipped to them. And when they did arrive, it only took 2 days to fix the RV. And that's an important thing. But you know what? There was nearly about $4,000 worth of damage to our RV.
And we have some great friends, like
I'm telling you.
amazing friends. So our friends actually made a trip up to Camping World in Wentzville and picked up the Waymaker for us. And then they actually brought it down to Texas. Those are some of our chasers, Gary and Fee Collins and Shanna and Dusky Graham.
Right.
They actually sort of made a holiday of it, and they came down. Yeah, so we went to this gigantic flea marketplace, and then we got to go to Magnolia in Waco. But yeah, those are some friends. Yeah.
Okay, here are some key takeaways from our experience with this thing happening with our RV.
Yeah. Number 1, read up on your extended warranty and know what it covers. I know one thing that happened to us when the warranty people were giving Camping World problems is our copy of it was still in our rig, and we weren't with the rig. So that if I had it, I think that would have made things a little bit easier. And ended up I had to do some online research, and our dealer actually helped us out a lot on that.
Right.
Number 2, have an emergency fund. Look, we incurred a lot of unplanned expenses. We had to rent a car. We had hotels going up to Michigan and back. We had to replace all of our food, and of course there was extra gas as we drove tandem from there down to all the way down to Texas. Yeah. So
absolutely.
had we not had that emergency fund, because stuff is going to happen. If we didn't have that emergency fund, that would have made this a much more trying time than it was.
A little bit more difficult,
Mm-hmm.
for sure. Number 3, don't be afraid to ask or accept help from other people.
Yeah.
Now, I will tell you that sometimes you don't want help from other people.
Right.
But in like a situation like this, a breakdown, a bad situation, people can come and help, and they can give great wisdom
Mm-hmm.
or even help you. Just like our friend, this guy came across the street.
Yeah.
He knew exactly what to do. He disconnected wires, and it all settled down. And if I would have said, no, I got this,
Right.
it probably would still be burning today.
Yeah, we could have lost our
You
whole
know?
rig
Right.
if he were not willing, and if we were not willing for that
And then
help.
the 4th thing, don't get ugly with people trying to help you.
Yeah.
Camping world, or there are many factors beyond their control, but in the end, we have great things to say about their service, their responsiveness, their flexibility, and their willingness to keep us informed.
Mm-hmm.
And then 5th, treasure your friends.
Yeah.
Treasure your friends. Your friends are valuable to you. Treasure them, especially the friends that we have
Mm-hmm.
who decided just to pick up and come and move stuff and take care
Yeah.
of us.
We'll just make a party of it. I
Right.
mean, that's just an amazing thing. So thanks to the Grahams and the Collinses for that. And I have a bonus.
Yeah, what's the bonus?
And I thought of this as we were preparing. Remember that people are watching. You've said a billion times,
Oh yeah.
the way that you respond in any struggle or any trial tells everybody around you what you really truly believe about God. So people that we met during this time didn't hear us cussing and fussing, or didn't watch us throwing things because we had electrical issues. Instead, they got to hear us telling about how great God was,
That's
because Dave the mechanic was right there, and the melting wires didn't cause a fire. The fire department knew right where to come. Camping World could get us right in, and they fought for us. Though we had to change campsites, we only had to pull forward a few feet.
Right.
Then we still had grace as a backup. We had an emergency fund, and we had great friends. As I look back at that time, I just think about how many people we got to tell about God's goodness during that rough time. So that's our story. Have you ever had a time when you just wanted to shout out #favor when you were in some kind of a difficult time, but then you watch God working? Tell us about that in the comments down below.
Yeah, and oh, by the way, let me just say this. If you like this video, we're going to put a video up right here, and I want you to watch that video. Just go ahead and click on that video now, and we will see you on the next video.